the button.
So crank it up loud. Let the story unfold. We're the masters of smash. Be brave and be bold. In the heart of the battle, we'll rise from the ground. With every beat pumping in a warrior sound.
Welcome.
Hello and welcome to the Smash Masters podcast number 84.
84.
We talk about collision repair, PDR, everything in between. I got another great episode this week.
Absolutely, we do. I mean, we've been working on like a year and a half of this stuff, right? Already, right? Or what?
Oh yeah, over a year. So we're definitely
grinding these.
We're in year 2, honestly.
Yeah, probably. I'd
well
have to go
into
back
year
and
2.
look. Yeah, but I mean, 84 episodes, man. We've been we've missed very few Mondays.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
No, actually, so we are almost on year 2 because we started our podcast right after MTE, our first MTE 2 years ago.
Initially, we was going to go every 2 weeks when we started. So we would probably be more than we are now had we did this straight from the start. But what's up, Greg? Michael? Welcome in, guys.
84.
Hope everybody's having a fantastic Monday.
Hell yeah. 84 is quite a big number, though. I mean, we're good. We're doing good. But no, it's super excited for MTE. I wanted to bring in a few people, and the next week's guest is up in the air, but I think we have it. Another tool related person for the PDR world coming on, but we got a tool related person coming on this time. And we'll definitely go through his story. But I mean, anything big happened to you in this week, Nick?
I mean, no. I mean, I've been hanging out. I've had work. I've had steady work. I mean, last year for me it was really slow at this time, but this year, I mean, so it's been good. I've been enjoying it. Finally starting to get a little bit of cold weather here. Like, I'm gonna say what's the day? The high was 41 for the high today.
Yeah, that's chilly. That's
I'm kind of enjoying that because it stays hot over here. All that crap. But yeah, I mean, you gave your notice. So
that's what happened to me this week. Yeah.
How's that? How's that going? What kind of vibes you got? You feeling? What are you thinking about? Like when you do something like that?
Well, I can tell you, you plan for it. I planned for it forever. This wasn't a spur of the moment thing. But once you've given your notice, all of a sudden it's real.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm doing this.
Right.
Like pucker up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's feels good.
Yeah.
It feels, I mean, it's like that light at the end of the tunnel is finally there.
Yeah. You don't know if it's a train or an actual light that's supposed to be good for you. Yeah.
No idea. I mean, all these things are hitting me like, oh,
yeah,
you have to buy health insurance. Oh, you're gonna have to do this. Chris? Oh, you're gonna have to do that. All sorts of little things. But how cool is that? It's good problems to have.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets the opportunity to quit their job and go and do their own thing. And I say opportunity, but I worked hard for it. It's something I manifested.
Well, that's what makes a lot of this stuff worth it. Even like getting better at the repairs, even in collision and PDR, the hard work and the effort and the time you have to put in. If it was easy, then it wouldn't have nothing behind it, no meaning at all,
For sure.
So yeah, when you start from zero, start from ground one, you start building up, start doing things. It's a cool moment. I mean, a lot of proud moments can be through the ups, for sure.
Well, I'm excited. I know it's going to be, some tough times ahead, but it's going to be tough times for me.
Yeah.
You know, so like it'll be building something for me.
Yeah.
So it's worth the work.
That part too, everybody kind of has to experience their own thing. I don't think everybody experiences the exact same thing, you know? So
Hmm.
yeah, you got a lot of congrats in the chat.
Yeah, thanks,
Well,
Chris,
congrats,
Jared. Thank
Jared.
you.
Yeah.
March 1st, it wasn't a 2 weeks notice, it's more like 2 months. So March 1st, I will be out. I'm attempting to hold on to the body shop as a client.
Yeah.
The boss is a really smart guy. He's already talking about that. So hopefully get a good vendor body shop relationship going
Yeah.
here. So
Awesome. Well, yeah, while we're hanging out in here, let's go ahead and bring our guest on. See
yeah,
what he's got going on.
let's get our guest out here. Daniel Gromm, thank you for joining us.
How you doing? How's it
Hey
going?
guys,
All right.
great.
Really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm getting excited too, man. MTE, can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
How
Yeah,
many
dude.
how many years have you gone to MTE?
Oh God, you know what? That's a good question. My first MTE was Corpus Christi, which was a hellhole in
Oh,
Texas. It was
okay.
horrible, and
Yeah.
my first experience. I don't know what year that was, because I had been going to. So my first experience was going to NACE, and NACE was like an auto body show, and there was a few dent guys there, and I met Tom Price, and that's where East Coast met West Coast for the very first time, two dent techs,
Mm,
and me and Tom kid all the time about we started this whole thing when we met, and at the first, you know,
mm,
and he was a wizard at the time and stuff, and yeah, that's kind of how things started. And then I started hearing about MTE, and then Tom Price called me up and says, "Hey, you got to meet this guy. His name's Mike Toledo. You guys are brothers from another mother. You guys are meant to be friends." And I'm like, "Really? Okay, okay, whatever."
Yeah.
I'm like, and so I go to Christi, and I meet Mike Toledo, and we hit it off right from the get go. It was like instant, and like
cool.
friends and stuff, which is great, and we still are, and we call each other 3 times a week, and bouncing ideas off each other and showing tools, and we just I'm very immature for my age, and I am like a kid in a candy store when it comes to tools. I'm a
Mhm.
tool. Love playing with stuff. I love tinkering. I like just getting into the minutia of how things work and stuff like that.
What is actually mature though in that sense? Like
Right.
what does that mean? Like you once you lose passion for stuff, I think you pretty much lose your spot on life in general, you know?
You
Right.
got to hold on to that childhood
Yeah, you do.
wonder, that childhood
You do.
joy.
What's up,
I do
Jordan?
agree on that one.
Yeah,
I,
that's
I'm more excited now than any other time in history in just with AI and all the possibilities of what that brings. And it's like a new, oh, you got me a new toy I get to play with.
mhm,
And I'm enjoying it. I've been making logos, dude.
mhm.
I picked logos using AI, and it does it in seconds.
Yeah.
And amazed at it. It's so cool. And I would have to sit down with my graphics guy and explain to him what I'd want. I'd sit over his shoulder, say, no, no, change this, change that. And now AI just makes it. It makes
Yeah.
it better. Imagine it. It's cool. I
AI
love it.
does some crazy work. I would agree there.
Yeah, I think people are in two camps there. They're either, oh, I hate AI, never AI, or they embrace it. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if you're eventually going to have to embrace it because it's going to affect your life one way or another, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
As a one man business, it's been helping me immensely. I mean, I make a little video for my social medias. I use ChatGPT to make the caption. That it
Yeah.
spells out things about paintless dent repair, how you should call us first, yada yada.
Mhm.
Even just like Google reviews, I'll screenshot it, have ChatGPT make a graphic, make it look pretty, so I can post this on my social medias, and it's not just a cell phone screenshot.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Super. And I'm barely grazing the edge of what AI can do with that kind of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
playing
come on.
with it
Most of
more.
the dent guys can't even spell, so we need ChatGPT.
It is cool.
AI answering phone calls and all kind of stuff. I mean, they're building them into all the electronics now. I mean,
Oh, I'm fully on board, dude. I do not answer phones anymore. My AI answers my phones,
Yeah.
books my appointments. I've got it all dialed in, automatic.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
That's
totally
really
embraced
cool.
it.
I've been
Yeah.
thinking about doing that myself. I'm a little untrusting as of yet, but
Well, we can
if it
talk
works
off
for
air.
you,
I can teach you some things.
awesome.
Yeah, that would be
That-
awesome.
I will definitely use you as a resource because, again, as a one-man business, that would be so helpful.
It would
Dude,
be helpful.
I've been doing this 33 years. You know, I've learned a few things.
Yeah.
I bet.
Well, on that topic right there, Stefan, he just put his notice in from his job, going out on his own.
It's so awesome.
I know
Thank you.
that at one point in time you probably had a same or similar story or something like that. So, kind of walk us through something like that. What does somebody feel
I was a
like?
car salesman. I was
Okay.
selling cars. I was selling Mitsubishis, and I sold a car with a dent in it. And I go to my manager. I go, "What do we do with this? We send it to the body shop?" And he goes, "No, there's this new guy, Dent Wizard. We can call him up." And I said, "Okay." So I called this guy up. He comes in. I point to the car. He goes off to the car. Comes back 20 minutes later. All done. I go, "Oh, really?" I go out and look at it. It's totally gone. He hands me a bill to hand to my manager, and I look down at it. $120. That was 20 minutes worth of work. You're making $120 for 20 minutes? Holy moly! Right? So he leaves, and I look out in the parking lot. I see the bumper guys, you know, painting the bumpers on the parking lot, and I was good friends with them. So I go over to them, and I start talking to them. And I go, "Hey, what do you know about this paintless dent removal stuff?" And they go, "Oh, we almost did it before. We decided to go with the bumpers, painting the bumpers instead." And but I got a brochure from a school down in Palo Alto. And I go, "Really?" And he hands me this brochure. So I called it up, and it was two guys from Missouri that moved out to California, and they thought they'd make it big in California doing retail. And they had a school, and they said it was $8,000 with tools. And I said, "Okay." So I went, hung up the phone. I had no money at the time. I was broke.
Yeah.
And I asked my parents for a loan, and I explained to them everything I wanted to do. I knew, I just had this instinctive knowing that this was my destiny. This was what I was supposed to do. It was I've never felt that way in my life. And I think I conveyed that to my parents, and they lent me the money. And I literally quit my job the next day, drove down and went to the school. It was a month long, and I got A1 tools, which was great.
Wow.
These guys did it right. I was very fortunate. I met the right guys by accident.
Yeah,
And
right.
I didn't research any other schools or anything like that. So I stumbled into the right thing, fortunately. And I remember 2 weeks into it that my trainer came to me and he goes, "I don't think you're going to get this. I don't think you're going to get this." And I'm like, "What? No, you don't understand. I don't have another option. I burned all my bridges." And that's what you have to do. You have to burn your bridges, because that's the motivating part. You know, you got to fly out of the nest or whatever.
No way back. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's the key. You know, you got to fully commit, and that was the right thing I needed to hear him say that, because then I was like trying way harder, and everything. The next day, everything clicked and everything fell into place, and it was great.
Yeah.
So that's how I started. Yep.
Okay. All right. That's it's very interesting.
The same guy that trained me trained Craig at Anson.
Oh, okay. So how old were you when you went through this training?
What was I? I was 28, I think. 27, 28, something like that.
In your 20s, in your late 20s.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got into it pretty early. That's
Yeah.
that's good timing for that. Somebody said to me recently, they asked me how old I am. And I'm like, I'm 38. And they said, well, yep. If you don't make the leap now, you're probably never gonna. So good time. Like, yeah, I know I'm late, but you know what? Better late than never.
I mean, that's probably why you see a lot of the body guys in shops 50 plus years old. You know, they're just stuck there. Like, you can't go and, I mean, I guess you could if you wanted to go doing something different, but
yeah,
it's kind of like, you know, you've been there that long. You probably don't too comfortable, I guess.
I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for somebody
I can't
older.
either. I can't either. I'm just speculating.
Maybe at a certain point, you just don't want to learn anything new. I don't know.
Right.
I think I'll always want to learn something new. I always like a challenge.
No.
I like to keep my mind busy. That's why I love PDR, because it always seems like there's something bigger and worse to go and challenge yourself with.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to challenge you right now. I want you to sit down with a piece of paper. I want you to map out your business every 10 years. Yeah, you can go every 5, 10 years, 20, 30, all the way to the end of your career. And so at the end, when you feel that you can retire, and so you're going to be building your business that whole time, right? You're going to put your heart and soul into this thing. What's your exit strategy? How do you get out? How do you sell what you built and get money for it? That's the key. That's what you want to look at. Map out your whole business. And I guarantee you, if you do this, I did this. And once you write it down, it has to be down on paper, though.
I get it.
Once you put it down, subconsciously, you attract those things to you. It's the law of attraction. Those things will fall into place. You will say, well, that's serendipity. That's serendipity. Oh, wow, I can't believe I met that person. Things will fall into place for you in a way that will be unbelievable. I'm proof that it works. And I'm at the end now of my journey, you know, in the next 20 years, I think. I plan on working until I die because I enjoy what I do. I love what I'm doing.
Yep.
I'll transition into management, into, you know, tool making and designing and stuff like that. But it'll be different. But I'll still be involved. Is my plan. But I own my building.
Right.
I've developed a system that I can sell and I can put anybody that's not in the PDR world in charge of my business if he's got employees to run. And that's the key.
That's the key right there. And the fact that you own the shop as well. So believe it or not, as in early stages as I am paying attention to those things. But you are 100% correct. Writing it down basically makes yourself your own accountability partner, you know, keeping yourself accountable, because I wrote this down, you know. That's something they taught us in our leadership training that I went to. So it's cool.
It's kind of like going back and looking at some of your old videos from then and then now, like in a live form, like writing it down on paper, watching yourself grow into what you structured out, you know, because you at the time you're like, you know, you thought, oh, that was pretty cool, but then you go back and you're like, dang, man, that was so cringe back then. I thought I was doing really great. You know, you meet these different steps along the way, meet these different people along the way up, and you know, you just build into whatever you got on your mind as far as like what you write down. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Definitely. And you know what? If there's any dent guys out there, they're thinking about, you know, they want to buy a building, you can call me. I will explain how I did it. There's some tricks and tips. You know, I learned some things, but it's way easier than you think. Well, you just have to have some, you know, you have to be in business for a while and a little bit of money. You know, you will have to have some down payment money, but there's some tricks around that too. So, because I cringe when I hear dent guys, you know, leasing out a building, and I'm like, no. You got to buy your building.
Right.
I mean, until you buy your building, then you can sell your business, rent your building back to the guy that buys the business, so he feels secure that you're not going to take anything away from him because you want him to succeed in the business that you just bought, but you got a great, and location, so important.
Right.
So that's the other thing. So
I'm a
anybody wants
big
to call me,
believer.
I will be your best coach.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's
That is-
awesome. I mean, we touching on MTE, I had somebody message me today. They had finally decided today to go to MTE. Actually, I'll
Awesome.
say it. It's actually Stephen Harrison, who was on the show a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago.
He's
And
coming.
he wasn't going to go to MTE because he went to PDR Expo. He's messaged me today saying, I'm going to MTE. I need to do it. I want to chase sales. So that means I got a network. I'm going to MTE. I
Mhm.
said,
Absolutely.
bro, that's awesome. I said, my best piece of advice, you talk to someone, get their phone number.
Yep.
And move on. Nobody's there going to be able to sit down and talk to you about details, anything. It's too hectic. There's too many people. There's too much stuff going on. Get their phone numbers. Call them after a week later, 2 weeks later, whatever. The networking is just unbelievable.
So important.
And you guys are so willing to give out your phone number to newbies like me, so it's I mean, you shot me your number through the Facebook Messenger. I typed it in. I already had it in here, so it was I was thinking about it. I don't know, last
Look,
year.
there's a part of our beings that, especially when you get older, I'm 63 now, we want to contribute back. Look, I spent a lifetime of learning what I know, and I got to pass it on.
Right.
And we're passing on the greatest industry, I believe. In you look at all these other businesses, there's nothing like the PDR industry. There is nothing like it. The brotherhood of that and sisterhood of that is so strong, and how we take care of each other and things. And now we need to pass it on to the younger guys, you guys, and you need to be the next caretakers of it and carry it on to the next level. And so I absolutely love passing on my pitfalls, so you don't fall into them, and I've been audited twice. I've been sued twice, so I've been through the shit. And now I'm like Teflon, man. And the interesting thing happens when you get older is you stop giving a fuck.
Right.
You have no fucks to give.
Yeah.
And
it's almost like a superpower.
It
In
is.
a way, yeah.
And
Right.
I'm kind of enjoying this part because I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Like you said, you're making tools, you're building the stuff. When you see other tools come out, you're excited to hang out and do what you enjoy doing. It's not work, it's just what you like to do. It's it's fun. And
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when did you you've been making tools for how long? Quite a while, right?
Dude, I started from almost the third year.
Yeah, that was kind of a thing, like make what you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I met some weirdo, and got into a little bit of the weeds, and that's one of the guys that sued me. But he was bonkers. He was really weird. I'm not even going to mention his name, but
Okay.
but he asked me to make him some designs because he was making all these weird designs, and I was like, okay, that's weird, and so I was like, I would take a coat hanger, and I would bend it into the shape to get to the dent that I needed to get to, and then I'd draw that pattern, and that's how I started. And he's like, I need a tool that can bend this way and get to this part, and one of my first designs was an upper brace tool, which Blem makes now with I put a little whale tail on it. It's a little mini whale tail, and I had to bend it so it would bend in but bend flat so it'd slide behind the brace. And they made a great, that tool is awesome from Blem. and it works really well. And so that was like my first design, because there's no upper brace tools at all, zero.
Yeah. Right.
And I actually had a client in Japan, so I was manufacturing tools and selling them to Japan, and then the Japan market fell out, and then that's when all the other tool makers. So that's when Ultra got in, Ding King got in, and Dentcraft got in, and I saw them, and they're way bigger than I was. I enjoyed designing the tools. I didn't enjoy selling the tools.
Right.
And I didn't want to get into having a machine shop. I still enjoyed doing the dents and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm getting out of the tool business, and so that lay dormant for years until I bought this building in '07. And if you remember the economy in '07, we had a downturn in '08. And all of a sudden I'm like hawk to high heaven, and all of a sudden the economy goes to shit, and business went to shit, and I'm like, I start panicking. I'm like, uh-oh, what am I going to do? And it just so happened this guy comes in with a motorcycle tank, brings me a Ducati motorcycle tank, and the Ducati at that time that he brought me had a large opening on top, and it was wide open. It was like this big. It was like 4 inches wide, and it was lightweight. And I was like, yeah, I can do this. I'll figure it out. So I ended up screwing it down to my wooden table, and what I realized when I did that is when I got it really stable, I was like, oh, this just pushes just like a car. Because I had tried to do once before, but I was trying to do it on the bike, and on the bike, it's mounted with rubber grommets, so it was flexing. So it was like working on a front fender that's not fully attached, you know, and you're giving away all your push. And I'm like, okay, how can I solve this problem, make it easier? And I went to Harbor Freight and I bought a drill press, and I took the drill off of it, and I used the table of it, and because it would lower, raise, and it would bolt down to the ground, and it was super beefy and super stout. And so that was my first prototype, really. And then I got some of the 80/20 extrusion, and I go, okay, this will work like an erector set. And so I started doing that. And then I called up Steve at Ultra, and I called up Mike Toledo, and I went down there, drove all the way down there. I brought all my stuff, and I spent a weekend with Steve and Mike Toledo designing the very first tank vise. And Steve was freaking phenomenal. He made all this happen. He gave me full access to his shop. All his guys were at our beck and call to make anything we wanted.
Wow.
Okay, make this, make that. It was like a kid in a candy store. I was so excited, and we were all riffing ideas and coming up with stuff. And what if we made an attachment, a hitch attachment, and you can throw it into a hitch in the back of the. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Okay, make this, and we would hand things off to their metal guys, and they would come back 20 minutes later. Here you go. I'm like, sweet, this is awesome. I had so much fun. I just.
That does sound like a lot of fun.
I remember back that time very fondly. It was really cool. And so that's how the first tank vise got born. And then I revised it many years later. And then I'm at my present time about 2 years ago, and I tripped over my light stand. Because I had my light stand and I had my heat gun, and their footprints are like in the way, and I'm tripping over it, and there's wires and stuff, and I'm like, and the weakest point is their flanges, and so you have to put a support underneath the tank. And I'm like, I have all these things I bought off the shelf stuff that never worked, and I hated it. And I'm like, okay, I'm scrapping all this. I'm starting over. I'm redesigning this thing from scratch.
Yeah.
And started doing that, and that's where I'm at presently with this latest Monomount 360. And this thing is, and I'm inspired by old machines, and this thing is beefier than hell. It's heavy as hell. It's thick stainless steel. The whole thing is stainless steel. It's all bolt together.
Oh wow.
So there's no welds or anything like that. And I've thought of everything. I did not leave anything out. I've fully tested this thing. I'm very, very satisfied, very, very happy with it. And it is the ultimate. So I don't care if you have one of my old ones, scrap it. I don't
Yeah.
even use I look at my old ones with disgust now. I'm like, ugh,
Right.
get out of here.
I mean, they were. It was cool for the time being, though, right?
Yeah.
No, it was great. Yeah,
You know?
and it's the evolution of it. Just like anything,
Right.
it's like your old iPhone to your new iPhone.
Right.
So
I-
that's where I'm at. Yeah.
It's an impressive product. I mean, from what I'm seeing, it holds the light. It holds a heat gun, complete spinning. You said it does
Yep.
360. Does it go all the way around?
Yep.
Yep.
And you don't need any tools. You don't. That's the other thing.
Oh,
to-
so no
to
Allen
do that.
key anymore.
You
or
don't need
anything.
any tools. It's all hand tightened. It's simple.
That's nice. That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
nice.
I've done a motorcycle tank with it still on the bike, and that is so difficult to do. Luckily, it was just a small dent, so it wasn't nothing too crazy. But even the small ones were so difficult, and that right there, I mean, just you can put it where it's comfortable for you to work on. You can move your light anywhere you need it. That
Yeah.
looks like a fantastic.
I think I even
setup.
see height adjustment. Can you raise the whole thing
Yep.
up and down? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, if I can work on a tank sitting on my nice Viper chair and everything, that sounds like the way to do it.
Zach
So-
says, "Does it suction to the floor?"
Yeah. So no. So kind of working on that part. So I have these plates that you can buy that you screw down to the floor,
Yeah.
and then the vise screws down to it. So with the speed gun, you can undo it, put it to the side. So let's say you had this thing in your garage, but you park your car in the garage. You'll
Right.
be able to unbolt it really fast, put it to the side, and still drive your car over it. The plates will stay there on the ground.
Yeah.
So you have that option right now. You can buy those right now. And I am working on a suction cup one, but I'm still in prototyping and testing and stuff. So that'll be a little bit later on. And so I've launched a new website called motometaltools.com, and it's dedicated to motorcycle PDR only. So it'll have basically every accessory, and I'm like on a roll right now with coming up with accessories and also redesigning my old accessories to make them better and user friendly. So it's going to be changing all the time. So keep visiting the website to see what's new, what's coming out and stuff. And it's just there's not enough time in the day for me sometimes to get everything out there. But
That's understandable.
the next thing is I'm working with Anson to put out a set of tools with their Gorilla Grip hubs. I will have them at MTE. I think I'll only have maybe 15 sets there.
Yeah.
So if you want one, DM me for getting on the list, and I'll put you on the list. And
These are motorcycle tools, obviously.
yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? I use my
use
motorcycle tools on cars every
Right.
freaking day.
Right. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, some of the tools. I mean, there's one tool in specific that I use on when you take out the tail light of a truck. It's a big, huge curve, but you got that big wide opening, but that big curve leverages itself, and it works great for trucks right around the tail light area. Just those
Yeah.
dents that are really close to the edge and stuff, and love that tool. And then the big, huge double bend, I use that for taking dents out of bumpers. The corner push-ins.
Yeah.
It just works great for that kind of thing. So there's the bendable tool, which I use for everywhere on the car. The bendable tool is, one of the best tools I think in my arsenal, because you can bend it into any shape. I have 3 of them, and one of them I have bent to. It looks like a freaking snake. It's so bent up, and and Frankenstein. It's like a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Zach
Yeah.
is wondering about the Honda Fury if you have a fuel opening protector. I don't know anything about that bike.
I don't even know what Fury is.
Yeah.
I
It
have
looks
to
like
look
a
at it.
old school chopper bike, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have one. I do have I have a new plastic insert that goes in that for any normal fuel opening, that's about 2.5 inches, 3 inches. So I do have that.
Okay.
I've got a bunch of things I'm working on for that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I do have all the ones for all the Harley Davidsons. So I have a leverage plate, I call them.
Yeah,
For every single one.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. Those are really handy to have, those leverage plates. And another thing we hadn't mentioned, but you have your own glue for tanks and
Yeah.
stuff as well, right? Yeah. So
Hog glue sold through
yeah.
Anson.
Yep. I've seen it many times. I haven't used it yet, but I've it's not because I don't like it or whatever. It's just I hadn't been down that road.
Here's the thing I'll say about it is you get a super strong pull,
Mm-hmm.
but it's probably the easiest one to pull off a car. So let's say you're doing a rail,
Mm-hmm.
and you're sitting there peeling off little pieces of glue with other glue.
Yeah.
Mine peels off I mean, it's so much faster. You'll save money if you use it for that reason only. And
Yeah.
you still get a great pull with it. But as long as it's not too cold, when it gets into the 50s or 40s, then it starts to get brittle. But
Yeah.
it has to get pretty cold for it to get brittle.
Okay.
And what's the name of this glue? I didn't even know you had a glue.
Hog glue.
Oh, you have the hog glue. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
HAWG.
All right. Yeah.
Hog
No, I know
glue.
that glue very well. I just didn't know you were associated with it. So.
Yeah, has my name up in the little corner.
Well, I should
subtle
read
about
better,
that.
shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Do you do any glue pulling on tanks?
No,
Yeah.
it's too dangerous. The only time I've ever been successful at it is on a Japanese bike because the metal's way thinner. A rice rocket, if you will. But those you have to be careful because those have water soluble decals on them that they clear over. So if there's a decal involved, you'll pull that whole thing off. You'll pull the clear right off the tank.
Right.
So you got to be super careful. It has to be on just normal paint.
I think Danny Hacker here is making a joke that everybody calls their glue super strong. Yes, literally, that's how everybody describes every glue. But I mean, if it wasn't a strong glue, then I mean, it shouldn't be on the market, really.
It's funny though. I think glues, when they're developed, like when I was developing mine, I was going through all these samples and figuring. So I developed my glue based off of where I live and the weather.
Sure. Yeah.
And that affected the design of that glue for sure. And I think that's the case for all glues. If guys are really, doing like I mean, I had charts and I had, notes and everything. I went through like a bunch of different glues to figure out what worked. So my glue works really well for where I live.
Okay.
And so I get it if it doesn't work for somebody else, because they could be in high humidity and my glue might not work in high humidity, but I'm not in high humidity, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick's glues that he uses don't work at all for me. He's in Mississippi. I'm in Connecticut. Just completely different environment.
Yeah. It's pretty humid up here, and I pretty much stick to Anson Collision and Cam Auto. That's the two that I use. Oh, and I use the Green Jiu-Jitsu alcohol-free glue a lot. I do use those. Those are the three that I know the best.
I thought you were using tab weld.
I have tab weld. I don't really use it that much, so
Okay. I just remember you suggesting it and having it
Yeah.
being a good
I did.
glue.
I did use it pretty heavy at the
Yeah.
very, at the very beginning. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just picked one glue and I said, you know what, I'm gonna learn this, what it will
That's
and
what you
won't
should
do
do.
throughout the
Yeah.
entire way. What can I do with it? What can I do with it? And when
Yeah.
you do that, you find that once you get comfortable with that, you know what you can and can't do with something. Then it's easier to work your way around than just guessing at something you've never used before.
Yeah.
But I
For
do
sure.
like to try the other ones just to see what they will do and what they won't do, because I have a palette I can compare them to the other ones with.
For
you know.
sure, for sure. My go-to these days, other than I'm always into Cam Auto Collision.
Yeah.
But if I'm going with some PDR glue, right now I'm using Tequila Cold Weather because it's pretty cold here, and that stuff is nice.
Yeah,
It's
that
cold
works great.
weather. I
Yeah,
love this glue.
yeah. When you have cold weather, that's my go-to too. Yeah.
It's a
The,
great glue.
the other thing I'll say about my glue is if you're working on a sketchy paint job and you're worried about pulling clear,
Mhm.
use my glue.
Oh,
It's more like one of the things I was testing. So I was trying to develop that for motorcycles, right?
Mhm.
And so what I found out that 8 out of 10 times it would leave the glue on the car and
Yeah.
pull off the tab first. I don't know
that's
why. I don't understand why, but that's what it would do.
Hmm.
So it would leave the glue on there. So my glue is less likely to pull clear off than most of the other types of glue. If you're afraid of that scenario happening, like if you're
Yeah.
on
Always.
a pearl paint, if you're on a pearl paint job, you always got to be sus on that.
Mhm.
And I've been pulling paint off of brand new Fords lately, so
Okay.
and it's
Yeah.
that'd be a good thing. I'll have to
Yeah.
get some. I have used it in the past. I didn't use it long enough to learn it, so I'm gonna pick some up and really play with it because why not?
But I have like a bunch of other tools. So I have my balloon tips at Blem, and now I have my mini balloon tips. And dude, if you don't have my mini balloon tips, oh my god, as a hail
Yeah.
guy, you're blowing it. They're the best thing since sliced bread. I am so in love with that tool. And Blem does such a great job. Those are forged tools. They're made like I made my original set. There's nobody that can make a forged tool like Blem. It's super strong. It doesn't give you the like all this
Yeah,
flat
I know what
stock.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're turning it like this, and your wrist is like this to be able to
Right.
get a push out of it. It's like you quarter turn push, and it's positive.
I've got some well tails that you can twist and keep on twisting, but it's really just
Yeah.
twisting the head of it. It's not really doing anything.
Yeah.
Right.
And plus, because it's round, you can push through glue. Like I'm working on a
Right.
car right now where I can tell the reason that it's got just a shallow dent, and all it is compressed glue from the brace.
Right.
So I heat up. I use the heat induction, heat up the end of my tool, sit there, push through all that glue, and it just pops.
Yep.
And it pushes through glue better than any other tool, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'll look for those at MTE when we go down there. I'll bring a
Yeah.
set home with me.
But I said you will thank me later. I trust me.
Oh, I have no doubt about that for sure.
And then I have my hammer at Carbon Tech, and all you wimpy guys playing with these little toy hammers, and I don't know what you're doing. Please get a real man's hammer. Something
I
heavy.
have seen your hammer. It is a nice hammer.
Fucking pound some metal.
Got to have some of those.
Yeah.
It's got it. We in the auto body industry we call them the BFH.
Yeah.
Big fucking hammer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Gotta have your BFH.
Yeah.
So I mean, to that effect, with PDR, I find that a heavier hammer, if you're really whacking on some highs and you got to really give it, grab a heavier hammer, save your wrists, save your energy, let the tools do the work.
Let the hammer do all the work.
Seriously,
Yeah. Right.
that's for sure. Put a link in the chat. I don't know what you're talking about, Danny. For what? I'll put a link in the chat. We're talking about like 8 different things here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
maybe some hog glue. Maybe.
he'll say he's still here. He
Yeah.
could say
Yeah.
we put it in there.
That's
So
all.
you said you got into the motorcycle tanks very early on in your career.
This is 07. Yeah, is when I got into it.
Okay.
And then I've been
Mm-hmm.
progressing, and now so one of the things I did 2 years ago is I delved into developing a system to get more customers. So I automated all my motorcycle estimates. So if you go to my website, and I have it all automated. So the way it works is customer goes to my website, says get an estimate. It asks very specific questions like fuel injected, year, make, model, that kind of stuff, and then a place to upload photos. And then my system basically calculates all their questions, and it equivalates a number to it, and it gives me an estimate. So I get an email, got a new customer, and this is what my system is calculating the estimate should be. I look at the photos, and I look at the estimate, and I adjust that estimate, and I press one button, and it sends them off an estimate for the repair, but also all the instructions on how to send me their tank.
Oh wow.
And I do not talk to customers anymore. I haven't talked to a customer in 2 years. And so they get all that information. They okay it. I get the text that it's okayed. They ship it off to me. It arrives at my spot, and then my system that I develop, I get the tank. I check it in. I give it a number. I give the tank a number. I give the box a number, and I give the work order a number. So I keep it all straight.
Yeah.
And then I click a button, and it clicks off an email to them saying, hey, your tank arrived safely. We'll let you know when it's mounted and being worked on. And then when I do mount it, I send them a picture of that. I click another button, and it says it's mounted, being worked on now. Should be a few days. And then I send them after photos, click another button, says them after photos, sends them a payment link, and they pay online, and I've never talked to the customer ever.
Really? Wow.
And that's the system I have. And I'm stealing money out of your pocket, out of your pocket, out of everybody's pocket. I'm in your neighborhood. I'm in all over the United States. I am taking work away from all of you.
Yeah.
So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
How long from when you started tanks to when it became a major part of your business?
It was probably a slow ramp up in 07. It probably took about 4 years to ramp it up.
Okay. So it takes a good 4 or 5 years of really trying to get that work.
I first went after local markets. I went to all the mechanics, shade mechanics I could find, all the dealerships, anybody selling anything to do with motorcycles. I would go talk to those guys. I went to motorcycle shows and stuff like that. I did a few of that. And then I started advertising in some magazines and stuff like that. And but it wasn't until I started. So I'm with Go High Level CRM system that I've taken and I customized it to do all the things I just talked about.
Okay.
So I took the basic CRM system of Go High Level, which a lot of guys are doing right now, but they're just playing around with the basics. I hired a guy for the last 2 years to customize it, and my system is way more robust than what they're playing with. I mean, I have all my Google reviews are automated, so they're asking for Google reviews. When I started, I had 40 Google reviews, and now I have 340 Google 5-star Google reviews.
Wow.
And the AI answers the Google reviews.
Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I'm not answering them. My AI is, and it makes me sound really smart. I love it. but I also have my PDR estimates. I only do PDR estimates this size of a credit card with this system, because
Yeah.
my shop is, when I get somebody into my shop, they see the whole thing. I lock them in with everything, that they
Yeah.
see. And so, but my calendar, my marketing is all done through that. Um, my phone system is all automated. Um, if if you guys haven't heard about Go High Level, you want to talk to me about any of that, I will talk your ear off. It's the greatest thing I've ever have done for my business, and it's the last key I needed to, go full circle here about
Mhm.
the end package of having a system, that now I have a system that I could sell with my business.
Right.
And
Go.
for instance, I trained my daughter. She works for me on Fridays. It took me 2 days to train her how to use the system. That's
Yeah.
how great it is.
Yeah, that's easy.
This setup.
Yeah.
Daniel was asking, do you miss talking to customers in person after having that, or is that just it just works?
I get plenty of talking. I mean, customers still walk in the door. I mean,
Right,
I
right.
talk to customers
Right.
every day. So
Yeah.
I'm not, but when you're working throughout the day, look, if you're working, do you like to be interrupted? Do
Right.
you like answering phone calls if you're in the middle of a dent?
Right.
I don't think so. I can say
That's
90%
one
of the
thing for
guys would
me.
say no. And are those people that are calling, are they asking the same 80% questions that you're answering over and over again?
Uh-huh.
Or you're paying somebody else to do that for you, to
Right.
answer those stupid questions?
Right.
AI does that, answers all their questions. My AI will book them an appointment. My AI handles that. And we're just at the beginning of that realm. It's
I
getting
agree.
better and better. I've already revised it once, and I probably need to go back and revise it again. It's basically a trained answering machine. It's nothing more
Yeah.
than that.
Right,
It's not really. I can't really say it's really AI. It's just you're training it to answer the questions. It'll look on your website and learn everything off your website, so it has some knowledge. But that's really all it is. It's nothing to
Right.
be afraid of. That's for sure.
No, yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm afraid of it. I think it's at the moment, I just don't have the time to do that kind of training. I mean, I'm about to quit my full-time job, so I think some time's going to open up for me. So if it comes to it, I would do it. I have a CRM now. It's nothing like what you're describing. I have to do all the work. And pretty much the only thing that you described that I have is the AI answers my Google reviews for me. Other than that, I have to do all the movement myself from stage to stage, and every automated message only happens when I move them to a new stage. So kind of like, is this really worth it? The only reason why I'm keeping it is because it's keeping everything in one app. And with my day job, with the podcast, and with everything, that's the only way I'm running admin right now. And it's because it's keeping it all my appointments, all my reminders are done through that, and everything. It's made it easier for me. But I will absolutely be talking to you about your CRM, and I hear there's a few others that might be at MTE as well. So I'm just going to put my feelers out. I'm not saying anything negative about my CRM. They also do my Google ads, and
Just
I've
want to
gotten
expand
a lot
on
of
some
work
stuff.
this year.
Yeah, just try something out, see what happens. I mean,
Right. I mean, that's what I did this year.
there's
I
nothing
tried
wrong
this
with that.
CRM. I tried this CRM,
Hey,
and it's worked.
as long as you're on a CRM, that's the first key, because that's building your database.
Right.
That's super important, to build your database and to have that, so you have targeted, so you have the ability to start targeting those people when you need to, hey, things are slow, I need to target some advertising and direct target your past customers, ask them
Email
for
campaigns,
your email campaigns and
Yep.
stuff. So that's an
No,
important step. So
I
that's good.
agree. No, it was a big step, but I'm glad I did it because it definitely made this year a lot easier. Just keeping all that stuff in one area. So for those out there looking to CRMs, you could definitely save you some
I,
time.
I'm going to add a CRM this year to mine. And the reason I haven't yet is because I wasn't sure if I would stay in this town or not, and I would move to another location permanently or anything. And it was just kind of a lot of what ifs going on. But I'm going to be here. I'm going to be doing stuff. I'm going to nail down
Now,
something good.
are you a route tech? You a retail guy? What kind
I
of?
just do retail work.
Okay,
I've
but do you
got,
have a retail location?
yeah, well, no, not really. I just do
Okay,
mobile.
you're mobile. Okay, you're
Yeah,
a mobile guy. Gotcha. Okay,
yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
Yep,
And do you
Yep.
yep.
have anybody else helping you with
Nope,
answering phones or anything?
nope,
It's just
just
you're a
me.
one man show.
Just me. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Trust me,
You'll benefit.
like you'll benefit um,
Oh, I
if you
agree.
switch to that. You'll free up a lot of your time.
Yeah, because
And it's it's one of those things that you're going to grind some gears learning the system and getting to know what it's like, but there is a point where you start to finally get comfortable. But you do have to commit to it. You know, it's not.
right,
You know, if you keep telling people, "Oh, I'm not a techie. I'm not a techie," then this might not be for you because you got
right.
to be a little bit. You got to be a little
But
bit.
no,
He
I
is.
would
He
do
is.
what? Yeah,
Nick is been picking up like lots of stuff when it comes to all this social media stuff. He'll admit that he's still relatively new to it in comparison to a bunch of us, but he
yeah,
picks it up nice. He's a techie. He'll
Okay.
get
yeah,
it.
yeah. I could do it. It's
Yeah,
just
he
the
can.
thing is like being comfortable enough to pick, one over the other. Like, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to just jump into something that I know absolutely nothing about, and just seeing how things went this year for me because I started mine in 24. Um, and
Business. Yeah.
I went through all 25, and I'm like, well, we'll see. I'm moving up on the stuff. I feel like now I actually do need to have that. Whereas
Yeah.
before, I really didn't feel like I needed it because I really wasn't getting that much stuff going on at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Um, but
Here's where I really think it benefits guys that are mobile and they're transitioning into getting their first retail location. Because when you go to do that, you got a foot in both realms, you know,
yeah,
and then you're like, oh God, I got to hire somebody to answer phones and stuff. Well, if you got a CRM system, you don't have to do that.
right.
You get rid of that employee thought out of your mind, and it'll at least allow you to transfer into a retail location a lot smoother. But a CRM system can save you a lot of money. I mean, like my phone system, I was paying $230 a month, and what I ended up doing is I got rid of my phone system, and I switched to just a cell phone on Mint Mobile, and it's $350 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's super cheap,
Mm-hmm.
and so it lives on a cell phone in the office,
Right.
and and the CRM, and then a lot of people you're going to be scattered, you know, using SEO here or other systems, and
Mhm.
you've got everything piecemeal there. All you're bringing it all under your control, your realm, and then let's say you have employees, and your employees come and go. Well, if you have this system, the employees are talking to your customers through your system. If they leave, they're still on your system. You're still in control of that conversation with that employee. So that
Right.
employee can't steal your customers that you've earned.
Mm.
Hmm.
And that's super important. Plus you can look at the conversation and see what they're saying to your customers, and you can say, "Hey, you can't be talking to my customer like that," or
It
"Hey,
records.
let me coach you
Right.
a little bit to make this a little bit better," you know. So you got a lot of control over employees when you have that too.
Right.
I do that to myself. I've re-listened to phone conversations I had with customers, and I go, why wasn't I nicer there? You know, like just something I didn't even think about it. You know, and
Right.
it's just,
Yeah.
teaching myself. You know, my
Right.
own employee.
That's something that I kind of had a head start in because my parents, like, they had their produce stand and nursery and all that kind of stuff. When I was younger, I'd hang out there, and I just kind of do all that kind of interacting with people, like salesman type stuff. So I'm pretty good at that. Naturally,
That's
good at customer service.
Yeah, it's good.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Um, and that has helped me with doing this. Like I never would have thought that, but yeah, I've definitely picked up and was able to do things that I wouldn't normally do because I'm antisocial. But for some reason, I have that kind of thing going on where I can sell stuff pretty easy.
I've got a little fun fact. I
Uh-huh.
learned to sell by working at Radio Shack.
Right.
Yeah.
I worked there for, I don't know, 3-4 years,
Yeah. Selling
and you're on
pages.
commission. So every quarter there's a sales meeting and there's a general manager telling you how to sell and always be
Right.
closing and do this and do that. I use that stuff still today,
Right.
selling my PDR work. And I'm like a lot. It really helped me.
You know, that's probably so valuable for you to see how a corporation handles a thing like that, and all the you know their organization skills for that. So that's good.
It was. I have lots of experience that has
Yeah.
culminated to
That's
make me a good entrepreneur. You know,
that's one thing in a body shop. When I would work at an MSO for a little while, and then I would go to a mom and pop shop, just like the difference of stuff. Like the MSO would have something nailed down and like to be max efficiency, but you go to the independent shop and they're like, we don't do any of that. That's like that's too difficult. We don't need all that here. And it's like, man, the system would just, you know what I'm saying? After you've been on both sides, you're like,
Yeah.
wow. And I don't know. I just kind of relate that to like the CRM kind of thing in a way, because I'm not doing it. And now, I will have it this year, kind of interacting, relearning the process of what things make easier. I just kind of brainstorming as I was sitting here thinking about that, and
well, you can benefit off of my experience. You can talk to
Yeah.
Daniel and benefit off of his experience. When we go to MT, you could talk to as many people, and lots of people have CRMs.
yeah,
So you can get your educated decision, so you're not just jumping into
right.
somebody you know nothing about. So
right, for sure.
Hey, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to mention one thing.
Please do.
So I'm gonna be in the Carbon Tech booth. He's giving me a little space there, so I'll be over there. But
Cool.
we're gonna be doing a raffle for Paul Corden, and
good.
and we're gonna have some great stuff. So when you're at MTE, stop by the booth, sign up for our raffle. I don't know. Have you guys ever met Paul Corden? You talked to Paul Corden?
Haven't met him.
I've met him. I met him at the Hollywood Casino in Missouri this past Hell Tech Expo.
I'm gonna say this: that the first time I met Paul, he affected my business so much because we went out to lunch and he showed me. He goes, "This is many years ago, right?" And he goes, he showed us a picture of a Alfa Romero and a big dent in the quarter panel. And he's like, "How much would you charge for that dent?" So we went around the table. Everybody gave a bid, right?
Yeah, right.
And I think the highest one was about $2,500, right?
Uh-huh.
And he goes, "I got $5,000 for that dent," and we were like, our jaws dropped, and we were like, "What? How did you do that?" And he explained everything, and that's where you got to meet him and get
Yeah.
his explanation. And then he moved on to, how much do you charge for drilling holes? And we're like, "What? For drilling a hole? What are you talking about?" And he started explaining. He goes, "Well, you have two choices here. We can do a manufacturer access, only $25 for that, or I take off the whole door panel and we charge $120 an hour to take off the door panels, depending on how complicated. So it costs a few $100s more. So what would you rather do, the $25 or the $100 and something dollars?" And we'll take the manufacturer access. That sounds good to us.
God.
We'll take that option.
It's just all in the way that you just sold it right there.
Yeah.
And we
right.
were just like, holy crap, he's getting $25 for
Yeah.
drilling a hole.
What-
And he blew us away. But this guy affected me, and I think he's affected our industry in such a positive way. I want to see his goals, because he's going through some rough shit right now.
Right.
And he's choosing to go to get this kind of state of the art type of treatment that his insurance doesn't cover. That's why his sister, I think it was his sister, one of it, I forget who's funding or started the GoFundMe thing, but so we're going to try to do everything. We want to show up big. Please show up big for me, and
Absolutely.
let's show him some love.
Yeah, for sure. We have a post up on the Smash Masters page. If you
The
guys want to go,
GoFundMe.
yeah, if you guys want to go through there and give what you can, donate or whatever,
Yeah.
it's over
Yeah, if
there.
you're not going to MT, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you can't make it,
I'll
there,
be in the raffle. I'm always in those things. It's I can't give back
Guess
enough.
what's going in the raffle? Guess what's going in the raffle?
The Moto 360.
Moto Mount 360 is going
I'm
to be
in.
in the fucking
Nice.
raffle.
Nice.
No,
I'm in. That's
That's-
definitely
that's awesome.
that would be a fun
Yeah.
thing to win for sure.
Yeah.
right?
Man,
Yeah.
that's a good raffle.
Mhm.
I would love to see some other companies do something like
Yeah,
that. And I'll bet you they are.
We're going to have some good stuff there. Trust me. It's
Yeah.
going to be the
Bet you
raffle.
they
Will be
are.
So
So
Get
no,
over
very
there.
cool.
That's awesome.
That's it's good to hear. It's awful to hear when somebody has to deal with some circumstance like that. But this
Well,
community
on top
is
of it all,
something
he's
else.
got shingles, so he's in extreme pain right now. Going through that
man.
crap. If you know anybody who's ever had shingles, but it's not fun.
No, it definitely is not.
No.
I haven't had it, but I've seen people that's had it, and it can't be
Yeah.
good.
For those of you out there who doesn't know who Paul Corden is, he's definitely been a huge influence on the PDR community.
Absolutely.
So
If you're not using his matrix on Mobile Tech RX, you're blowing
Yeah.
it.
Right.
right. So yeah, no, that would be a great way to give back if people participate in these raffles. Yeah. Man, I don't know if is there anything else you want to make sure everybody hears before we end the show?
Yeah,
Where can everybody find
come by
you?
and see me, say hello, check out my tank
Okay.
price, and that's you see videos, you see pictures and stuff. It doesn't do it justice. When you see it in person, it's friggin' heavy duty.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, it's you'll be impressed.
This is your website up here too, Moto Metal Tools. So
Yeah,
if
.com.
you guys want to go and check any of that stuff out, be sure and go over here. And yeah, he's got some awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely go and
For
check
sure.
it out. I'm gonna dig into it, and
And if you
further I dig,
dude, you want to learn more, just call me, DM me, Facebook messenger me, whatever. I'll talk to any Dentech anytime
that's awesome.
about anything.
Good to know. Well, Daniel, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
We
Yeah,
really
Good to see you.
appreciate it.
It was awesome.
We're weeks away now, man.
Weeks away, and we only got to touch a little bit of just the tip of the story and stuff on here. Hour went by fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, as
but-
it does.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's
But we
awesome.
really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing that new stand and your other tools.
Cool.
Because I haven't really dug into them yet, so I want to check them
Yeah,
out.
Yeah, I
Definitely
probably won't even see my motorcycle tools until I get there. So that'll be new for me.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
excited to see that. So
Well, we'll be helping set up. We're part of the MTE help crew this year, so we'll be over there checking
Cool.
them out. So
Yeah.
right on, man.
Yeah.
all right,
Thanks,
everybody, have a great week. We appreciate all of you.
Yeah, thanks
We'll
for
see you
stopping
next
in,
week.
guys. See ya.
Cool. Peace
Bye,
out.
everybody.
So crank it up loud.